Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with CRL Season 10, Round 2, Tier 2 in Hungary. Not a track I'm particularly a big fan of, but I'll probably have more fun comms in it than I will racing it, especially from Monday night. As always, I'm your host, CRL Spider. I've dropped the 95 because on my birthday I thought it'd be a good idea to change my name, so I had to change it back. But as always, I am joined by my good friend, co-host and former Ferrari teammate, that is Mr. AFL.
Good evening, everybody. Hope you're enjoying this cold weather, because I am certainly not.
I'm most certainly not either. So it's a good job we've nipped over to Hungary for a little bit, mate, for a bit of a warm spell, shall we say. We'll imagine that we can feel the heat. I'm sat next to my radiator, mate, just to try and get some of that Hungary warmth. Dear, right, let's try and find out who got on the track first. I think it's a Mercedes, and it is, so it's CRL McConey that is out on track first. Hungary. AFL, how was your Monday night?
Dreadful.
I know exactly how you feel there, mate, but it's in the past. We look forward to the future, and at the moment our future consists of watching the banter tier, the goated tier, going live for 35 laps and 20 minutes of practice, qualifying here in Hungary. Now, as I was saying off camera, Hungary is a lovely track to watch. I enjoy watching it more than I do racing this track. It's not one of my favourites, and it's like Marmite, this track. Some people like it, some people hate it. There's 19 drivers on grid tonight that are either going to have to love it or hate it, all in an attempt to get some points. AFL, what do you think we can expect from tonight's race?
A lot of drama, a few safety cars, different strategies, incidents. It's going to be interesting. It's a track that's always had some sort of drama here in real life. You know, always something going on here. So looking forward to it tonight, and looking forward to not be in the driver's seat but in the commentary box tonight.
Yeah, 100%. Now, we have got... Well, I should say I've now got the championship standings up on my phone from Tier 2 last week. Ennis is currently sitting top of the grid table with 31 points after scoring a perfect week. Obviously, he got the win and the fastest lap. P2 is currently Nosey and P3 is Duil. However, we are really early days at this precise moment when it comes to the championship. This is only round 2 of 12. We've still got a fair while to go before we can say this person's looking strong, this person's... because anything can change in these first few laps. Well, for the first few rounds, not laps. It wouldn't be a Tier 2 comms AFL if I didn't get my tongue tied, let's face it.
I love how you got your tongue tied when saying tongue tied.
Yeah. That was a meta moment, mate. But anyway, looking at the constructors though, while we do wait for Farrell to set the first lap of the session, here he goes. Farrell goes fastest with 1:15.7, and everybody's going to start coming across the line. Now, it's time for me to grab my controller. Ooh, I accidentally paused it. Right, McConey. Oh, Harry Palmer. See, everybody's going to start coming across the line now thick and fast, aren't they? This is the bit I hate. Where's the Alpine? Alpine, T-Griff, P3. Here comes everyone. You know what? I'm going to wait for everyone to catch up. I'm going to jump on board with Hobbsy and show Hobbsy some love. Dear. Right then, so as it stands, this is not counting Monday night's races. AFL, I'm just going to jump on board with 4-star. If you could just fill us in with some information about Hungary, that would be great.
So Hungary has been on the calendar for, I'm going to say, over 30 odd years. I'm believing that's correct. I believe there have been quite a lot of incidents, a lot of famous races around here. We go back to the year that I hate talking about, but it's one of the most memorable races, 2021. When Bottas decided to go bowling and take out a substantial amount of the grid, which Esteban Ocon eventually won. But that was genuinely a crazy race from start to finish. The scenes of seeing Lewis Hamilton starring on the grid on intermediate tyres on his own, where everybody else pitted, was quite a spectacle. And then you've got the battle between Alonso and Schumacher here as well in 2006, I believe, which was a great race where battling here. And also, this was the first place that Jenson Button actually got a victory in F1 in 2006 in that miraculous Honda powered BAR.
I always forget about Jenson Button's win here.
It's a track that had a lot of rich history, a lot of controversial moments as well. Obviously, we've spoken about Bottas. Also, one of my favourite controversial moments was Schumacher v Barrichello down the main straight. I don't know if you've seen that, Rob.
Yes, I have.
Barrichello has got the run on Schumacher, and Schumacher just moves him over to the right side of the wall, leaving him just enough space. And obviously Barrichello was very aggrieved after that, but that's one of my favourite moments. Schumacher pushing it to the limit, but keeping it within the limit just about. But yeah, there's a lot of. I think there's I can't remember if it was Piquet or Mansell into the first corner, where he's actually drifted the car in the Williams. I think it was 1986.
I think it was Mansell, if memory serves me correct. I think it was Mansell.
I may or may not be correct, but I know it was definitely a Williams who drifted it round the first corner. The old layout, because it was the first turn was a lot quicker than it actually is now. But yeah, no, it's a really good track with rich history. And Budapest as well was a nice city, somewhere on my list to go to.
Well,
yeah. Nice track. Rambled on for a bit now, but I'll let you get back to it.
No, thank you for filling in the gap there, mate. Letland decided to run around the hallway, so I had to quickly get him back into bed and literally yeet him back into his bed. Right then, so a lot of drivers have crossed the line now, so we'll go through their times. Currently sitting provisional pole is our championship leader, Ennis, with 1:15.3. Farrell is not far behind him, about 400 of a second separating him and Ennis, who's currently P2. NS, our legend, he's currently sitting P3. Four-star P4. Duil P5. Jet P6. Harry Palmer P7. I'm getting a lot of people messaging there. Hello to everybody watching. Apparently it's going to be a drive race, apparently, but time will tell. Tango P8. But Evans is saying that it's potentially going to be rain 20 laps in, so we'll find out. A bit of mixed messages coming on for the weather. Carl's currently P9, Cool Killer's P10. Everyone's switching it up a little bit at the moment. We'll come back to this in a little bit because drivers are starting to set more times. AFL. I'm still trying.
Griff at the moment.
I am also on board with Griff as well at the moment in the Alpine. And the boss man is also in the chat. Good evening to Mr. Nathan, who will be racing in Tier 1 later this evening. I believe they're getting ready to go underway with their qualifying session in 5 minutes. By the time we've started our race, they should be pretty much coming towards the end of their qualifying session. Obviously, this is the league that you want to wait for. Apparently there's going to be snow in the race, AFL, according to Carl.
It seems like we're going to have all conditions in this race.
Oh, mate, I can't wait to see those new snow tyres. Well, if that's to be told, if Carl thinks there's snow in the race, I'd like to know what they're offering him down in the AlphaTauri garage, because whatever it is, clearly isn't legal. I know we're in Hungary.
I was going to say something, but I realised I'm not going to say what I was going to say on stream.
If I was, that's one after the streams come to an end where I'll be curious to know what you was going to say, joke. But I would like to know what the AlphaTauri boys are feeding their drivers, because whatever it is, I think we may need to get a drugs test down in the garage for the AlphaTauri boys. I think they're hallucinating. Yeah, T Griff goes provisional P6 with 1:15.8. It was a corker of a lap, AFL. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, on board with it for that lap. And he kept the car within the white lines and everything. But he's still got enough time to go again.
Yeah.
Maybe put a fresh set of softs on and then, go out, lower the again.
Well, we are jumping on board with Nosey, who will be the last driver to set a time on the grid. War Daddy has retired, and Shu, I believe, had a quali ban. That's why he had a set of inters on, I think.
Yeah, just to calibrate his setup, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, the rules is in CRL where if you do have a qualifying ban, you are allowed to go out on your out lap to calibrate your setup and get the feel for the car, but you have to come back into the pits and retire on the same lap. Basically, you're not allowed to set a lap time. If you set a lap time, I believe the quali ban follows over to the next round as well, if I remember correctly, if memory serves me right. Points are awarded down from P1 all the way down to P12, so there's more points, more opportunities to score points in this league. Fastest lap is awarded so long as you finish in the points, just like actual F1. Now let's turn our attention to the future AFL, because I had a thought the other day, and you know me, I like to tweet at EA Sports when I get bored, not that they're going to listen to me. I've realised something. The next game is just going to be a copy and paste of F1 23. There's no new tracks, there's no new drivers, and there's no transfers.
Yeah, apparently so.
So,
I mean, I think you did say that it's going to be a new engine, though, didn't you? Because it's not going to be for old gen. If that's correct. Apparently,
it's a big, heavily implied rumour at the moment, and it's one that does sort of make sense, to be fair. Anyway, Knowlesy goes 1 minute 16.044, possibly going to go for another outlap. He's still got plenty of time with 6 minutes 30 left in the session. Let's jump on board with Strauss, who's on the outlap at the moment, and show the Mercedes driver some love. So basically, the rumour is regarding F1 24. Obviously, nothing's confirmed as of yet, until obviously the official announcement has been made. But the next game is supposed to be dropping support for previous gen consoles, which would make sense and may help them develop the game further and maybe get rid of some of these nasty bugs that are inside the game. But there's not going to be major changes. So what would you like to see brought into the next installment of the game? Because they're going to have to do something to bring, because otherwise it'd be, well, why would I pay for F1 24 when I just play F1 23 and it's the same game?
Yeah, I've got a few suggestions if anybody is listening from EA. Quick pit stops and quali. Instead of having to get wheeled back into the garage and wait for like 30-40 seconds for you to put new tyres on, you should just be able to do a quick pit stop like how you would in the race, or at least have the option to either do a quick pit stop or come into the garage and possibly look at the times, because as you can see, some people do want to do a quick pit stop and some want to come in and have a look at their lap. So maybe that's an avenue on the game for EA to have a look at. Also safety cars as well, in terms of cars being able to unlap themselves. I think that needs to be, that's the main thing. I think that's the main gripe of the virtual community, especially on F1 games, is that ability to unlap themselves.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% about the cars being able to unlap themselves under safety car. Yes, 100% support that idea. What I feel should be brought into the game, I don't know if you'll agree with me, is a more developed create a character mode. You know, at the moment, obviously, we have them premium. Oh, Strauss has gone for a spin!
Strauss has gone, yeah. I was on board with that.
Yeah, I was as well. That's going to be unlucky for Strauss. It's alright, he's still got plenty of time. Hopefully he hasn't ruined them tyres. But we'll go find someone else to jump on board with. Not Legend, he's invalidated. Let's jump on board with one of our favourite Scotsmen. We'll jump on board with CRL 34 for a little bit, who I believe is on his outlap at the hot lap at the moment. As I was saying before, obviously Strauss went for a spin. You know how we have the preset avatars for our characters in game? We use them obviously online and in my team, etc. What they should do is they should do a version, you know, like where in FIFA you can create a character from scratch and literally, if you have the skill to do it, replicate yourself in game. Yeah. That. And the ability to make custom drivers as well, to put them into the driver's market. Imagine this. You're playing your My Team AFL, and all of a sudden, you sat there and you go, season's over. What's this? Ferrari have signed Rob Allen? Hang on a second, that's a custom character I've made. Sure, imagine that, just seeing custom characters coming into
Poor Ferrari.
What do you mean, poor Ferrari? You can't talk. Do I have to rewind the clocks back to when we were at Ferrari together?
Poor Ferrari.
Speaking of poor Ferrari, CRL 34 goes P13 provisionally with 115.9.
No, but I do get what you mean about just character customization. Just make it a bit more immersive and a bit more realistic as well, because it's quite generic. The characters, like, and some of these characters we've had for years, since like old gen as well.
Yeah.
So even if they don't update as much, maybe give
Some
us
new ones.
some more characters, some new people to add into the game. Or even add drivers into the game, like current F1 drivers that you could use as online. So, for example, just put the grid that you have in the actual game in an online way.
No, possibly. Cool Killer goes P8 with 115.7, outspeeding his teammate by 0.02 of a second. I believe everyone is pretty much now returning to the track to get that last second lap in. I got a yellow flag, obviously, from the Ferrari driver, letting some of the drivers past. But with just under 2 minutes left on the clock, everyone's going to be scrambling to that track to try and improve and catch Ennis, who currently sits at the top with 115.3. But yeah, there's a lot of features that they could bring into the new game, to be fair. Character customization, 100% agree with you on the quick pit stops, mate, and 100% agree with you on being able to overtake the VSC. Overtake the safety car under. That needs to be done, 100%. I agree with you on that, fully. One thing they could do, because obviously they're not going to add no new tracks to the game and stuff like that, it could be that they may have to add some legacy tracks in, like maybe they're going to have to add in South Africa, Germany, Vietnam, bring them back into the game.
I love how Vietnam didn't even actually have a race.
No, but it's still in COVID, yeah. But it's still in the game files when you think about it. It is still there and could be used.
I hated that track, I can't lie.
I'm not the biggest fan of Vietnam, but they could easily import it over to the new games, and they're going to have to do something, let's face it, because it is going to be one of those where they're going to go a lot. Yes, they're going to have to cut the previous gen console community. They're going to have to at some point. I mean, you think the consoles have been out now for nearly 4 or 5 years. They're going to have to cut them loose at some point. And it is going to be sooner rather than later. For anyone that is playing on previous gen, it is coming. Obviously, I know some people can't afford the consoles or their parents have got to buy it for them. I get that understandably, but it does hold the game back from being developed fully because they have to develop 2 versions of the game. Farrell's coming into pit. He's going to go no further in this session. So we'll jump back on board with Ennis, who's going to be the next driver to cross the line. But there is a lot of features that they could bring into the game. Let us know what you feel as if you'd like to see in-game as we discuss it more and more throughout this series, because we are getting ever so closer to that announcement day. Ennis does improve on his time, but he was already pole as it stands. Right, got drivers coming across the line now. DeWill goes P4, Carl goes P5, Cool Killer's gone P10, Cole Paradox is currently P17. The next up to cross the line is going to be a Mercedes driver, and that is going to be into the pit, so it's going to be Aston Martin, which is coming next. I believe that could be for Tango. Tango goes P14. Here comes the next Red Bull of Jet. He goes P4. Alright, who's this coming up next? This Nosey. It is Nosey, but Nosey's coming into pit as well, so he's not going to improve. Right, let's jump back on board with 4-star, the residential TikTok. He's pitting as well. Alright, let's jump on board with McConey. He's pitting as well. I think all these boys have gone, you know what, enough's enough. I think, AFL, that is going to be... Oh, hang on, no, Tigris looking to potentially go a bit faster. Can he do it? No improvement from Tigris. AFL, I do believe that is our grid for Thursday evening.
Yeah, it looks like it.
For those that are watching, the Tier 1 boys have now also kicked off their qualifying session. They'll be 5 minutes deep into the session, but stick on board with me and AFL. So I promise you have got 35 laps of non-stop action coming your way. And this is the goated tier anyway. This is the best tier to watch, especially on a Thursday, because there's so much talent on this grid and it's close racing all the way through. So, just to run you down through, so Ennis goes fastest with 115.031, not far off that 114 AFL. Farrell in second for Red Bull, so it's a me versus you at the front row, AFL, get in. And then we've got Hobbsy, Jet, DeWill, Carl, Harry Palmer, McConey, Legend, Cool Killer, 4-star, T-Griff, Mercedes, Aston Martin. Why am I saying Aston? Why am I saying the teams? Cool Killer, 4-star, T-Griff, Strauss, Tango, 3-4, Nosey, Cold Paradox, War Daddy, and Ids pulling up the rear, who also had to remind me that his name isn't Shoe, it's Ids. But let's face it, we're probably going to call him Shoe again anyway. 35 laps AFL. The weatherman can't seem to make up his mind, or Carl's doing something in the garage he shouldn't be doing. What do you think it's going to be like?
Mate, I have no idea. I'm just expecting it to be a great race, to be honest. And whatever happens, happens at the end of the day. But I'm sure we will enjoy it no matter what.
That I couldn't agree with you more. In the distance, it does look to be a bit overcasty, but behind us, it looks to be a bit sunny. So maybe it's going to be one of those. Let's face it. It's going to be the weather's going to play a big effect in this race by the looks of it. Now, just while we wait for everyone to catch up, I just remembered that earlier on I was getting ready to rattle off the constructors on where it stands. So this is the points before any points have been awarded from tier 4 and 3 on Monday evening. Going into round 2, Red Bull lead the championship with 103 points. Williams are in second with 90 points. Ferrari are in third with 89. Haas are in fourth with 77. Mercedes are in fifth with 76. Alpine are in sixth with 45. Alfa Romeo are in seventh with 38. Aston Martin in eighth with 35. AlphaTauri in ninth with 24. And bringing up the rear is the McLaren boys with just 13 points. Now, if we take a look at Monday night AFL, I do believe the Ferrari boys are going to be laughing all the way to the bank, because if a memory serves me correctly, it was a Ferrari 1-2 down in tier 4.
Yeah, it was. It was, unfortunately for us.
Yeah, so Ferrari have potentially, Ferrari potentially could be sitting at the top of the Constructors' Championship come the end of this round. But we've still got 2 races of this round to continue. So we will, you never know. We've got a Williams and a Red Bull on the front row. So it could be good. Could be good points for either team. But early days, like I said, we've still got 11 rounds of racing left to go. Every point really does matter, but it could be anyone's game. As we get underway with the formation lap, so let's find out what tyres everybody's starting. Yeah, no worries, mate, no worries. So, just 2 drivers opting to go for the soft tyres. IRT Ennis, the pole sitter, on softs, and further down the back, the AlphaTauri of Cold Paradox. Then it looks to be a split grid, more seeming to opt for the mediums than the hards, but still pretty much 50-50 when it comes to the 2 compounds. So, all 3 dry tyre compounds starting on the grid this evening. But we keep getting mixed messages through of what the weather is going to be. Are we going to see the intermediate tyres? Maybe, maybe not. A lot of these drivers will be going for the one stop, probably medium to hard, hard to medium, but apparently soft to medium can be done. I wonder if that's what's going through Cold Paradox's head and Ennis's head. But safety cars will play a big feature, as they always do here in CRL. So never rule out a safety car. And setups, of course, also being a big thing as well. But the boys are pretty much now coming into the final bit of Sector 3 to finish doing their formation lap and getting warmth into their tyres. Turn 1 always is carnage. If we roll the clocks back to 2021, it was carnage. A few drivers taken out. A lone Lewis Hamilton sat on the starting grid of Hungary, and Esteban Ocon went on to win the 2021 Hungarian Grand Prix. It was a race for the ages, and not one that I expected, that's for sure. The drivers are all getting ready to line up back into their positions. as we get ready to go underway racing here in Hungary. Ooh, Strauss not getting into his line properly. But anyway, we are now just seconds away from lights out. It is going to be 5 lights out here in Hungary. It's 5 lights out and away we go. And is it going to be a quick start for Ennis, or is Farrell going to be able to get in front?
Ennis is a great start.
A great start. But I tell you what, the Haas of Hobbsy coming up quite quickly alongside here, the Red Bull. Let's take a look, just going back. Any bumps? Because that turn 1 can be quite vicious. I tell you what, it looks to be quite clean, to be fair, but 4 stars all the way down in P19. I think he was the biggest loser from all of that.
But everybody seems to be putting it in the right direction anyway, going forward, so...
Yeah, I don't think I saw any debris flying anywhere, to be fair. 4 star, like I said, was the biggest loser from that. He is down 8 positions from P11, now sitting at the back of the grid in P19. The biggest winner from all of that was Cole Paradox. He's up 3 positions. The top 4 haven't changed, but 35 laps AFL, it's going to be a long, long race.
It is. It is going to be a long race, but I think it's going to be a long race where you're going to see quite a few incidents. And it's interesting, the tyre strategy as well, if you want to go through that.
Yeah, I've already been through it, but if you want to share your views on it, mate, please feel free.
Ennis on softs. Now, how long do softs last around here? Not too sure. So he's really got to make a break for it now and see if he can try and extend this stint, because the medium guys, especially Farrell, Hobbsy and Jet, will just be chilling, really waiting for Ennis to maybe take some life out of his tyres, and they can just sit in the DRS and see if Ennis can drag them along.
Yeah, 100%. Now, apparently the softs can overheat quite quickly here in Hungary, so, like you said, tyre car is going to come up to it. We are currently on board with Harry Palmer, who was having a bit of a battle with Legend a second ago, but it looks like Legend has managed to pull away. Harry Palmer obviously being on the hard tyres, Legend being on the medium, so Legend will have the speed advantage over the 2 drivers at the moment. We do have a yellow flag somewhere. We've had a bit of a collision. 4 star and 3-4 out of the Grand Prix. They're gone. It's a safety car on lap 2.
Did you catch that?
No, I did not. Oh. Our favourite Scotsman and our favourite TikToker are out only on the 2nd lap of the Grand Prix.
Wow.
Now, if anything, that's just extended Cole Paradox's and Ennis's tyre stint on those softs. They could make them go a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I would like to know what happened between them 2 drivers. I'm going to see if I can get a message from at least one of them. I'll keep you updated to find out what's going on now. I believe both of them are in the same...
drivers pitting.
Yeah, we've got Strauss that's come in for hards, and Knowlesy's come in for mediums. Interesting. So we've just had an update from CRL 34 to find out what happened. I literally just asked him what happened, and the response was, I lost traction and got collected. I think that's something you can sympathise with there, isn't it, AFL, losing traction?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm always losing. Traction is the bane of my life in this game, but, you know, it's the risk that I'm willing to take with running no traction on this wheel, and I'm trying to get it right, so it's going to come eventually. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame for Scott there.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. Now, I know 4 star and 3-4 normally are in the same party together, so one can only imagine what the conversation of topic was there. Well, the topic of conversation was there, I should say. That would be,
we might not be able to repeat that conversation on here, because there may have been a few profanities
All I know is, and this is a phrase we're probably going to hear quite a bit, it's all part of the Ferrari master plan. But AFL, looking at it in hindsight, for both of us, it's good news for us, because that's a Ferrari driver out the race.
It is, but I never actually really want to see people retire.
No, I never want to see people retire. But looking at it from a constructor's point of view, we're sat there going, woo! Some points saved. Because they've already got enough points from Tier 4 this week. They don't need no more.
True. But they'll be back. Those two drivers will be back raring and ready to go next week.
Next week, where we head to France. We're heading to next week, mate. The Paul Ricard circuit.
I don't mind that track.
I raced in it in Formula X last Friday. I finished the race. Not as high as I'd like to, but it is a good circuit. But one that I do need to put a bit of practice on the wheel a bit more, I reckon.
You know, they do say practice makes perfect.
Yeah, 100%. You don't get any results unless you do put practice in.
Exactly. Got to put the hours in to get the results.
Only unfortunate thing is this week I've just been slammed at work. This week I've not had the time like I had for Saudi Arabia to get the time in. Now with Saudi Arabia I had a week off, so I was able to sit there and practice. To the point I knew every corner, I knew where to go, and to be fair, Ariel Farrow, who's sitting in the Red Bull, one of my Red Bull teammates there, was kind enough to jump in and help me learn some of the corners as well. But the safety car is in this lap AFL. We're going to get underway racing on lap 5. It's your teammate Ennis that's leading the pack as we will get underway in Hungary.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where Ennis decides to put his right foot down and just go for it.
Well, depends.
Farrell is really close as well.
Yeah, he ain't going to want to leave him alone for anything now. All depends how well Ennis has looked after them soft tyres. I think he's bunching the pack up. And we are now gone and underway. But I'll tell you what, Hobbsy is keeping Farrell company.
Hobbsy going to make a move.
It's going to be...
inside.
Oh, be careful
Giving
there.
each other space.
It's clean racing. We've got a couple of people switching positions further down the pack. Now, turn 1 is the most vicious corner on this circuit. As Shu goes for a move on Strauss and gets the move done. That was a nice, clean overtake, and I got to sit on board and watch every second of it. Further up the grid, Carl making the move up to P3. Hobbsy jet down, my teammate, all the way down to P6. It's a clean restart. No matter where you look, people are battling and overtaking and giving each other battles. It's great stuff, AFL. No matter where you look, eSIM racing at its finest.
Yep. And it's getting a good restart. He's over a second ahead of Farrell now. He's obviously got those tyres up to temperature very quickly compared to Farrell. But again, Farrell could just be playing the long game.
He is on them medium tyres. He's going to be able to make them go even longer compared to what Ennis is going to be able to do. And with that safety car, he may have extended that stint. Maybe, just maybe, could he possibly go medium soft?
Yeah. Also, Harry Palmer is in a decent position. He's on those hard tyres. He may be overtaken here by DeWill, who's down his inside going into turn 1.
We are on the battle between DeWill and Harry. Yeah. And I tell you what, those drivers both giving each other space. Harry, a current champion. DeWill, a former champion. There's a reason why they are both champions here at CRL. And we are on board and watching it at the moment. Look how clean this is, AFL, between the two drivers.
I'm loving this camera as well.
That's great. Tell you what, that's probably one of the best cameras. Oh, there was no contact there between the two of them.
Just got very tight.
Yeah.
Towards the end there. But no, that's good. That's good racing there from those two.
That was amazing racing, to the point I've even clipped it. I loved every second of that. That will be going on my TikTok later on, because I'd like to capture decent moments like that, even if I'm not racing. Just moments like that. That's what makes this hobby much more fun. Let's go see if we can find another battle elsewhere, shall we? Let's go and jump on the board with the battle for P3. Carl's currently up sitting on the podium, and he's got the Haas of Hobbsy trying to chase him down. DRS will now be enabled as well. There's going to be a bit of a DRS train forming ever so shortly. Front two drivers currently in a league of their own. They have just sort of driven off into the sunset for now. Carl will be the lead carriage in this DRS train, and let's see what happens when we get into the next DRS zone. How many DRS zones are in on this circuit, AFL? Is it just the one, or is there two?
It is one.
It's just that starting straight.
Yeah, just the main straight.
Somewhere. Let's see what we can see.
Yeah, it's quite a train we've got here. See, it's one by one. But again, once DRS is activated, I believe it will be activated this lap, if I stand corrected. So we may see a few overtakes if it hasn't been activated already.
ERS has now been activated, but I'll tell you what, I'm on board at the moment with Nosey and Cool Killer. They are having a bit of a battle down in the battle for P15. Only one prancing horse left in this race now, as the prancing horse gallops by.
Yeah, DRS, here we go.
Yeah, we're going to stick on board with this battle between War Daddy and Nosey as they come down into the DRS straight and down into turn one. Like I said, one of the vicious corners on this circuit is turn one. So many accidents have happened here in Rio F1, and so many accidents have happened here in CRL as well.
Yeah, War Daddy getting the move into turn one on Nosey.
I want to say, AFL, I believe we're both wrong when it comes to... Isn't there two? You've got the starting straight, and then you've got that zone just after.
Correct. Yeah, you are correct. And somebody has spun. We've got a spinner.
Oh, no, it's my team's Jet. It's my teammate. He's spun. He's in the grass.
Looks like he's kept out the wall and everything,
so hopefully he can... It's still a long way to go. Get his head down. Yeah. We're only 8 laps in. Still a long way to go. Was he pushed? Was he nudged? Or did he just lose it on the curb? It's so easy to lose it on the curbs around this track as well. And they are vicious, these curbs as well. Once they get a bite, they go for the bite, let's face it. Right, Hobbsy is going to have DRS assist here on Carl. Can he catch up and get the move done on turn one, or is he going to be looking to get the move done on turn two? Let's stick on board with these to find out, to see if they can. Jet is now overtaking Nosey. Nosey has come in to pit. Maybe those mediums not working out the way he wanted it to. I can only expect we are going to see a set of white walls being put on the Alfa Romeo, and I am right, and there goes the set of white walls. So Nosey probably going to stick it out on them hards to the end of the race.
Yeah, he probably needs like another safety car to sort of bring him back into the fold, which is always a possibility around here. So he's just got to get his head down and just really go for it and see what happens now. Again, it's a long race. Anything can happen in these remaining laps that we've got. So yeah, it's anybody's game still. This race is still open.
Yeah, it's still
the gaps right now mean nothing. So if you're in a position where you think you can probably capitalise on that, you probably can, and you may be able to see what you can do and try and get up as high as you can around here.
I'll tell you what, we are on board with the battle for P11 between Tango and IDS.
Let's have a look.
Shu looking to try and get the move done. Goes to the outside, cuts back. Nice clean racing between the two drivers here.
But they both have DRS, so it sort of negates the effect of having DRS.
It's hard versus mediums at the moment, but directly in front of them is the other soft runner of Cole Paradox in the Alpha Tauri. Now, in theory, both of these drivers will be looking to be gaining on Cole Paradox very, very shortly, because I can't imagine them softs are going to be lasting much longer, despite their extension due to the safety car and the early laps of this romp. Shoot, get him round Tango in that. Oh, we've got a spin! And he's alive, I believe. It's just a yellow flag. That's both of our teammates going for a spin now, AFL. Jet's been for one, Ids has been for one. Oh, and he's spun, he's just losing, he's not doing. He's rocking the 95 as well. Come on, the 95 is supposed to be a lucky number. Well, it's my lucky number anyway. And it's my racing number as well. What are you doing using my racing number? Your own racing number, it's my racing number.
There's an imposter among us.
There is, and who
is it?
Exactly. I think it's both me and Ids, because the only number 95 that should be on the track is the one and only Lightning McQueen. Here's a fun fact for you, AFL. Did you know Lightning McQueen actually has a first name?
Go on, what is it?
Montgomery.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't. I found this out the other day at work when I was on my break, sifting through Facebook, as you do when you're bored on your break at work. You got interesting Disney Pixar cars fact. Lightning McQueen's actual first name is Montgomery.
Fair play.
And that's something I didn't know. I've watched Cars now for many, many years, and only now, at the age of 28, am I discovering that Lightning McQueen's name is Montgomery.
There you go, guys. Fun facts with Rob, CRL.
There we go. I need something this season, because my first comms season I had pushed the red button. Second season with you, it was bringing up 2021 at every moment I possibly could. And I need something this season. I'm still trying to work out what it is it should be. I think fun facts with Rob could be the thing for this season. Cole Paradox coming into pit on them soft tyres, so I am right, AFL. I think even he said that enough is enough. And what would you think is going to be coming on here? A pair of yellows or a pair of whites?
Oh, I'd say mediums, you know. You could get in the mediums.
Well, let's see what he's going for.
And it's hard, so I was wrong.
So maybe he's wanting now to go to the very end. I don't think he's expecting any more safety cars.
Not the first time I've been wrong on a Thursday.
Well, no comment here from me, mate. Cole Culler's up to P11 now as well, the lone horse that is in it. So he's in the points, carrying Ferrari in Tier 2. The Haas boys are on a good run this evening, got both of their drivers up the top end of the field. They'll be looking to improve for their constructors, which is amazing news. NS, I'll tell you what though, despite being on the softs for 11 laps now, they're 4.2 seconds ahead of Farrell.
Farrell, yeah. And this is doing a really good opening stint on this soft tyre. Just trying to extend it as best as you can. So he had a little bit of a snap of oversteer there just on the exit there. So maybe those rear tyres are probably at the end of their life or close to it. And you don't want to lose too much time after you've built that gap out, because he's done a great job to get this gap. But he doesn't want to lose it in the sort of reverse phase of the tyres coming towards Farrell and him losing the tyres as well.
No, 100%. The question is, how much longer do you think that they could last? I mean, if a safety car came out now, 100% he's going to be into pit. That's guaranteed at this point. But yeah. So long as he's not.
We should be looking at Carl as well. To be fair, Carl was doing a good job in P3. Sorry to cut you there, mate.
No. We'll go on.
He's within half a second of Farrell, so if he keeps it tight through Sector 2, we may see a overtake at the start of the next lap.
100% there, mate. Now, I just had a thought as well while we're on board with Carl in the AlphaTauri. This could possibly be the last game that we see the AlphaTauri as it is in the F1 games, because obviously according to rumours, nothing's fully confirmed yet, AlphaTauri's being rebranded to Racing Bulls from what I've heard.
I have my opinions on that.
Technically it's two Red Bull teams on the grid at that point. You might as well just call it Baby Bull.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into politics of F1 because this is not the place, but as Carl, is he going to make a move down in? No, he doesn't. He
backs out. He did look like he was going to do it there. Let's face it. Maybe he's going to get it done here on the smaller DRS straight.
He did Farrell did get good traction out of turn 1 there.
He did. Farrell keeping him at bay.
Yeah. But no, we won't get into the politics of my thoughts of who should be what team and whatever.
Well, speaking of teams on the grid, obviously Alfa Romeo have obviously said goodbye now to F1 once again. It's Sauber F1 that I believe their team's going to be until Audi comes in until 2026, which I personally cannot wait for. And then obviously there's talks of obviously Andretti Motorsport obviously coming onto the grid for 2026 as well. So we could possibly have 2 more slots coming up for Formula 1 in F1 2026. Obviously, in my opinion, the more teams, the better. I don't know if you feel the same way, AFL.
Yeah, the more teams, the better. Obviously, we want the grid to be as competitive as possible, just because there's a team on the grid. We don't want them to just make up numbers. But it's a good thing because it gives young drivers a chance to come into Formula 1 as well.
Exactly.
And if you look at the sort of the stack of drivers in the lower formulas, and maybe some drivers in Formula E as well, former F1 drivers that might come in and bring a bit of stability to a new team. There's still a lot of talent out there. So if it brings in the right caliber of drivers, I'm all for it.
No, 100%, couldn't agree more. Obviously, there is a decent stack of talent down in F2 at the moment. There's a couple of decent reserve drivers as well that are currently reserving for teams that I do feel deserve a drive as well at the moment. But we are on board with the battle for P10 between Cool Killer and T-Griff. Most interesting battle between the Alpine and the Ferrari happening on track. Neither one wanting to disappear too far from the other. Well, I say the Ferrari is wanting to disappear from the Alpine driver, but T-Griff keeping him in his sights. But Cool Killer does have the younger tyre, so we'll have a little bit of a speed advantage. But setups will come down being a big thing. Let's see if we can find a bit of a battle. I'll tell you what, we've got a bit of a battle between the Silver Arrows here, AFL.
Let's have a look. Yep. Strauss behind is going to make it easy for him. Yeah, McConey just let Strauss through.
Yeah, good teamwork, good team orders there from Toto, or whoever it is that's assigned themselves as team principal for Mercedes this season. I know in Ferrari it is CRL 34. He's been helping out a lot of his teammates with setups and giving them friendly advice. I don't know if you've got someone over in the Williams chat that's been helping out.
I'll be honest with you, the Williams boys are all good. They're all helping out in their own way. So shout out to the Williams team. And that's from tier 1 all the way down to tier 4, all giving us a hand in helping us with strategy and improving. So yeah, shout out to those guys.
Over at the Red Bull paddock, it's quite quiet in our chat, but we do help each other out where and when we can. Obviously, as I explained earlier, Farrell gave up some of his time to help me learn Saudi Arabia last week. Obviously, we discussed strategy and obviously how well things went. But yeah, it's interesting. Now, at the front of the grid, Ennis has finally come in off them softs after 16 laps. Legend is also in, and so is McConey. So, as it stands now, Farrell is leading the Grand Prix, but is still yet to pit. Still no sign of any rain, so I wonder if Carl was doing something in the garage he shouldn't have been.
Yeah, and then this is pretty much done 50% of the race on those soft tyres, so he'll be in a decent position.
Strat, yeah, could be a good strat. I wonder if Farrell's going to try and do it the opposite way and go medium to soft. Now, he would have got an extension on them medium tyres, like I said earlier, due to the safety car being out on track. So it's very possible, so long as he's looked after him, that he could go medium soft.
Yeah, 100%.
Could be a big payoff if he can make it. Sneaking up into the top 3 now, current Tier 4 champion Harry Palmer is snuck up into podium positions, but I do believe he's still got to pit as well, because those were his starting tyres. He's clearly going out for a hard to soft strategy. CRL Strauss, the Mercedes driver, he has done his mandatory pit stop. He's currently sitting P4. In theory, could be looking at a podium because he doesn't have to pit again, AFL.
Yeah, but will those tyres last? That's the question.
Yeah, that is the big question. Cool Killer also in the same position in that Ferrari. He hasn't got a pit no more and is on them hard tyres. He's currently sitting P5. So as it stands, it currently looks like a Strauss and Cool Killer podium finish. But this is still a long way to go as we have only just gone over 50% of the distance of this Grand Prix, AFL.
Yep, still a long way to go. See, strategy is now going to start playing out. And Ennis now... It's a bit of a strange one. He'll have a pace advantage on these guys as he's on fresh tyres, but as you know, Hungary is a very difficult track to overtake.
Yeah.
So he has to make use of his fresh rubber early, because Farrell now is in clear air, so he won't have to worry about getting through the traffic at this stage. So this is a big stint now for Ennis. He doesn't want to take too much out of his tyres, but he needs to get a move on if he wants to win this race as well.
I couldn't agree more, but still a long way to go. But it doesn't feel like it's halfway so far, does it? It's gone by quite quickly. We've had a couple of bumps and we've had some good battles as well. I still feel as if though we may have one more safety car in this book. Now Ennis has got DRS assistance on the Red Bull, sticking in the slipstream of the Red Bull, looking to make the move down the inside. Nicely done. It's the Williams versus the Red Bull. They're tapping tyres ever so slightly. The Red Bull goes wide and the Williams goes up into P8.
And there was a bit of contact there, but you know, they managed to get through.
Yeah, bumping rubber, AFL, that's all they were doing. I didn't look like there was anything major to look at. Obviously the stewards are on the case. Obviously anything that is caught, the stewards will obviously do what they need to do. But Ennis now on the assault of Tango, those fresh mediums. He's more than likely going to get round Tango any moment now. He's just looking for his opportunity to pounce. Can Tango back up that Williams driver and try and maybe slow him down a little bit? Maybe give some space. He's just sticking to that Aston Martin now like glue. Look at this. It's beautifully done as he goes down the inside and retakes position. He's up to P7.
A good move there from Ennis there. These are critical sort of overtakes he's making here. It's not just for fun. These could... Now he's got a Alpine that pulls into the pits that will help him. He may get DRS from that, as he does.
He does, yeah.
So yeah, he's on the charge now, Ennis.
I'm just on board just a little bit further up. Carl should overtake a Jet to take P8. We are on board with Cool Killer, who's looking to take the battle to the Silver Arrows. Whereas the last time we had a Ferrari versus Mercedes battle quite recently, AFL.
Sorry, you said that again, mate?
When was the last time we heard about a Mercedes versus Ferrari battle? Obviously quite recently, AFL. Obviously wrapping up this season in Abu Dhabi, where Mercedes won the Constructors by 4 points.
Yeah, controversially, even though I'm a Mercedes fan, Mercedes didn't deserve P2, the Constructors.
It was a big brain move from Charles Leclerc, but unfortunately didn't pay off in his favour. But coming third in the Constructors, still a bragging point, just not as much money as coming second.
Yeah, I mean, it's all redundant really, because they're all there to win the Constructors and win the Drivers' Championship. Yeah, it's more, the Constructors is more for the team, so the guys and girls working within the team, that's all for them, but the main goal of the team is probably the Drivers' Championship.
Sorry to interrupt, mate. It's a lovely overtake
great move by
from Ennis there.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, it was great, and I was on board to watch every second of it. Carl also moves up to P7 as well, getting around Tangle quite easily. But I'll tell you what, Hobbsy's also doing it as well. Hobbsy gets round Tango.
I have to say, Ennis is a man on a mission there. Great switch back there into turn 1. Got the run down into turn 2 and turn 3, and now he's really going for it now, which is good.
I believe he came out of the pits at about P11, and the fact that he's now back up to P4 ever so quickly It is impressive. Now, those front three runners want to be worried, especially Harry Palmer, because here comes Ennis. He's literally right behind the McLaren driver. And is it going to be another driver chalked up as an overtake? We're going to stick on board with this battle to find out how quickly it takes Ennis to get round the current champ. Let's see what happens, shall we?
Yeah, this is looking like it's the Ennis show.
It is. It's inevitable. Look at this. The Williams driver around the McLaren driver. No contact between the two. It's cleanly, and Ennis is back in the podium positions.
And look at the gap that he's got. Literally right. He's closed the gap to the guys he was quite a bit in front of. So, yeah, as Farrell pits now.
Yeah, we've got a few drivers all coming into pits. Now, the question is, what is Farrell going to go to? I'm quite curious to see what he is going to go to. He's going to set us off, so it is the medium soft strap for Farrell. Can he make them last? That is the question. He will have the speed advantage, and he is going to be the man to take the mission to Ennis. And there's T-Griff. Give him a lovely little bit of camera time there for a second. Lovely stuff. Right then, let's go and find a battle somewhere to watch. I believe there's a battle going on between an AlphaTauri and a Mercedes. It's going to be coming up very shortly. It's not that AlphaTauri, it's that AlphaTauri between Carl and Strauss. And Hobbsy's involved as well, so a little bit of a freeway battle for P4 here, AFL. I don't know if you're on board to join the fun.
Yeah, I just jumped on board now.
Now, normally at this point, Crofty would probably say if you press the red button, you can jump on board with any of these drivers. However, if you are watching on YouTube, you have to watch what I'm watching. So we're sticking on board with Carl at the moment to see if we can get the overtake done on the Silver Arrow of Strauss. And Hobbsy, ever so slightly lurking, can he get it done? As DeWill comes into pit now as well on those medium tyres. Question is, what's DeWill going to come back out on? Is it going to be a set of reds?
Possibly three wide going into.
This could be interesting.
No, it's too wide. It's too. But there's everywhere you look, there's overtakes happening. Yeah,
no matter where you look, it's been a great race to commentate on. No matter where you look, DeWill's obviously coming back out on them softs. He's going to be coming out P10, but being on the soft tyres, you'll probably catch up quite quickly. Two drivers dropping positions there. Shu drops down to P16 and Knowles drops down to P14, both being overtaken there. Harry Palmer back up to P2 and Carl getting round Harry Palmer. It's almost as if Harry gave up the battle there quite easy and let them both by.
Yeah, Harry picking his fights, knowing that he may be able to come back into this battle later on with he'll be looking to come into pit shortly. Maybe he's looked at the drivers that are around him and gone, oh, they're a bit too quick for me now. Maybe it's time I come in and change those white walls for red walls. We'll stick on board with Harry to see what he does this lap. I've got a feeling he may be coming in. I think he should stay out and extend, to be honest. Because considering the medium runners have come in sort of 3-4 laps ago, he's on the hard tyres. He can go by distance now.
He can, but he's still yet to pit.
Yeah, and he'll come back out on even fresher softs than the guys around him.
That's a good point. He is still in a good position. He is currently P4. We've got Legend now playing catch up on him.
Yeah, it's in that Alpha killer, or cool kicker, I should say. So it's a 17.4, which is a decent lap, brand new tyres for him, I'd say.
As the Red Bull of Jet gets round Nosey, the other Alfa Romeo driver further down the grid, these boys currently trying to fight to get back up into the points. Obviously, it is early day, but every point really does count, especially in the early stages. So if your team can get decent points across the board early days, then it could be good for the constructors in the long run. Obviously, prizes are awarded to the constructor drivers. Obviously, at the start of next season, it's season 11, if it gets renewed, obviously a prize will be given to at least one of the drivers in the constructors. And it's obviously there's prizes up for grabs for the drivers, for their drivers' championship as well. So if you're sat there thinking, Rob, how can I get involved? I would love to have a bit of a battle here with you, or AFL, or even 3-4. Well, simply join the server. Fill out your evaluations. We're obviously always looking for reserve drivers for CRL, but just remember, we are a PlayStation exclusive only league. So unless you have a PS4 or a PS5, there's no point joining the server. But why not come and join the fun every week on Mondays and Thursdays by hitting that subscribe button and turning your notification bell on, where you'll hear me and AFL every week, keeping you company on a Thursday night. What more could you want, AFL, than listening to us two on a Thursday evening?
Exactly. Come and join the fun.
Well, a little birdie that I can tell about that is going to be coming to join the fun, a name that you probably do recognise, AFL, Jenkins17. Does the name ring a bell to you, mate?
It does, it does.
Well, he got his PS5 Slim today, and word on the street is he got it because he wants to join Cone, quite literally.
Go here. Fit the criteria, great driver, so yeah, more the merrier.
Right then, we're back on board with Harry Palmer. We're going to see if he does come in again this lap. But I'll tell you what, I really don't know. I'll tell you what, the more I am watching Harry going around track, the more I am siding with you. As the first 3-second penalty at long last of the evening, AFL, comes in the form of IRT Griff for multiple track limits. The fact we've gone 26 laps and there's been no black and white flags anywhere is impressive.
Yeah, it just shows the quality that these guys have got. Because this track is definitely one where you can rack up quite a few penalty points.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, as Tango gets past Cop Paradox into turn 1, they had to move down quite early anyway.
Nice. I'm just on board with the battle for P2 between Hobbsy and Carl at the moment. As I was saying earlier, the Tier 2 boys, this version of Tier 2 for this season is one of the closest grids I've seen in Tier 2 for a long time. The level of talent in this one tier alone, not saying there ain't talent in other tiers, because there is, but in this one particular tier, it is so close.
Yeah, it's proper stacked, this tier. I mean, it's one of those where you actually couldn't call going to do what in the race. That's how good everybody is.
Normally when it comes to the tiers, obviously when you look at the tiers, normally there's a driver that stands out before the racing even starts in obviously pre-season. You look at them and go, that person's probably going to win it. In this tier, looking at all the people that are in it, you genuinely can't. You can't call it whatsoever. Battle for P7 is pretty much alive between the battle, AFL, between a Mercedes and a Red Bull. Where have we heard this, AFL? Tell me, where have we possibly seen this battle before?
I'm not too sure, mate.
It's never happened before. My memory doesn't serve me of these two teams ever battling out, as the Mercedes of Marconi gets overtaken by Farrell and DeWill. DeWill saw his opportunity and went, you know what, you've left the space, I've got a car, I'm going to go through it. And quite literally, DeWill takes P8 while Marconi drops from P7 to P9. Now these soft runners, they're going to have a big advantage. But I'll tell you what, the man on a mission is currently now back in P1 AFL. Ennis is back on top. Oh, what's this? We've got a lone McLaren sitting dormant. Harry's gone wide. Those hards, I think, have had enough, Harry. I think it's time to bring him in, mate. As he drops to P11. That's such a shame. He's ran such a good race this evening.
Doing a good race.
Maybe, just maybe, he's taken him that one lap too far. Doesn't appear to have any damage, not that I can see anyway, AFL, as he comes into pit, and it's going to be definitely going to be for Sauce. We're going to leave Harry alone for a little bit as we go and find a bit of a battle. Once again, the battle between a Red Bull and a Mercedes, as Farrell looks to go around the outside on Strauss. Nice and clean, but I tell you what, the Will's looking to retake position as well, as we're potentially going to go 3 wide down into turn 3, and we are 3 wide down into turn 3, and that's a lovely lunge there by the Red Bull driver of Farrell. That's how you go 3 wide into a corner. Take notes. Now, Farrell on them nice new softs. Only 6 laps old. AFL, tell me, do you think he's still in with a chance of taking the battle to the front runners? They're not really that far ahead of him when you think, when he's on them softs.
Yeah, he's got a good chance of at least cementing that he had at the start of the race. barring any sort of catastrophe, I think has got this in the bag. But never say never, especially with F1.
No, I mean,
Genuinely don't know what's around the corner.
Look at Tier 4, CRL Murphy, leading the Grand Prix, was doing really, really well. And then some Tier 4 driver caused the safety car. I wonder who that was, AFL.
Some handsome Williams driver, that's what I'm going to say.
Those damn pesky Williams drivers.
Yeah, it was dreadful, to be honest. I just knew that changed somebody's race, and unfortunately,
it's one of those, mate. You lost traction, and you ended up out. It's not much you can do about it. Speaking of being out,
I did see. Oh, there may have been contact there. I did see. I think it was the Mercedes and the Ferrari going side by side there.
I wasn't on board with it.
That did look quite sketchy. I don't think there was any damage, but there was definitely
some form of contact.
Some form of contact there.
Let's go jump aboard one of the Mercedes boys and see if anyone got damaged. So Strauss doesn't have damage, and neither does his teammate. So maybe, just maybe, could have been a late lunge. I don't know. Might be one for the stewards to decide post-race. Obviously, the stewarding team, obviously their steward office is already open, as the incident between 4-star and 3-4 is already being looked into. 6 laps left to go of this race, AFL, and I tell you what, Ennis he's cooking.
He's looking really good at this current time.
I'll tell you what potentially could be cooking very shortly as well, mate. It is the battle between Hobbsy and Carl. Hobbsy desperately trying to catch up on the Alpha Tauri driver. It's not a podium that you'd expect. A Williams, an Alpha Tauri, and a Haas. This is some alternate universe with them 3 teams. As Nosey is out of the Grand Prix, and it's a safety car. There's a big crash.
Right now, Harry Palmer has no front wing. So, what did I say? Hold on, we've got 2 McLarens with no front wings there. What's going on there?
Has there been a battle with the McLarens?
We have Harry Palmer with no front wing, and we have War Daddy with no front wing as well.
You know what that is, AFL? Technically speaking, I mean, one's now out of the Grand Prix. Harry Palmer, War Daddy, Shu, and Nosey have all been caught up in the same incident, and Nosey ultimately pays the price and is out of the Grand Prix. That will be one for the stewards to look into, and that will be one to look forward to find out what comes out from that incident. I unfortunately didn't see it. You seem to have been on board slightly with it.
Yeah, it's well, the pit lane now has turned into Piccadilly Circus, where
everyone's in.
Most of the drivers are in, if not everybody.
Literally, every driver is coming. But I tell you what, though, Tango's taken full advantage of it and gone, nah, you know what, my 9-lap-old mediums, they're fine. But everybody else has come in for softs.
Yeah.
Oh, we've had a retirement in track. Shoes gone, you know what, it's not worth it. I'm out. That's a Williams driver calling it a day there. Everybody else is literally come in for soft tyres. T-Griff is going to suffer from this massively. You are right, Dan. Mr. DC, one of the head admins, joining us in the chat, has literally just said, the drama. I'll tell you what though, Dan, that's what we live for here in CRL, let's face it. We love the action, we love the battles, and we love the drama. That's what we're here for on a Thursday night. I know I am, AFL. I don't know if you are as well.
I mean, I'm not here for it, but the drama just seems to follow us wherever we go.
Maybe it's just us, AFL.
Yeah.
A cracking race paired with some cracking cones, gents.
Oh, big thank you, DC. Dan's just saying, AFL, it's been a cracking race paired with some cracking comms from us too.
Cheers, Dan. Thanks, mate. Much appreciated.
We always try to have a bit of a laugh, don't we, AFL, during our streams. I mean, we do go serious. We do try getting that Crofty and Brundle comms going. But at the same time, we like to have a bit of a laugh and get things going.
You know, I think we have our own style, and that's just joking about, and it works. not many people can carry it off like that. Some people might have to be a bit more serious, but I think the way we do it, where we go off on a tangent and have a rant or talk about something for completely unrelated for 5 minutes, it worked. I think well, I'm not saying this just because we're on stream, but I do enjoy how well we complement each other in the commentary box. So yeah,
100%.
It's a good partnership that we've got.
And here's to many more races together as well, AFL. Obviously, you can also catch me in AFL on Saturday nights on an alternative YouTube channel if you wish to tune in for that as well. But you can also catch me in AFL on our Twitch streams on Monday nights when we're racing, and it's a little bit more PG in those chats, if I do say so, AFL, especially when I get angry.
Yeah. And you can usually hear me swearing in the background.
The Monday nights is for mature audiences only. We can't do that, obviously, on a Thursday night. We've got to keep it somewhat professional. Safety car is more likely going to be either in this lap AFL or next lap. Obviously, it is going to be spicy, DC, and if I was you, I'd get a bag of popcorn, crack open a beer, and get comfy, because it's going to be a mad dash to the finish line. I tell you what, if Tango can pull off a podium now on them Tamla Bolt mediums, I'll give him driver of the day. But it's anyone's game now for a podium, let's face it. Everybody's on softs. It is going to be safety car in this lap as well, and unless we have a pile-up on turn 1, we're not going to have a safety car or a VSC for the remainder of this race, since Dragon has literally just put Tango's chuckling, I'm in danger. Tango very could well be in danger, Dragon, that's for certain. And I'll tell you what, like I said, if he pulls this off, he's getting my vote for driver of the day. But Ennis has left, he's gone, he's off, he wants that podium, he wants that win, he wants to make it 2 for 2, and we're underway again with the Hungarian Grand Prix AFL.
Yeah, and this just needs to do
real loudly crying face.
Hopefully, in his eyes, he like Tango to be sort of the blocker, and stay in front of the guys on the first
He has upgraded his caravan,
just
I see.
scamper away into the distance, but
I
Tango's
feel
holding his own. He's
the
holding his own, Tango.
the drivers were very clean, every single one of them around.
We're gonna have a bit of
Carl.
Tango's down to P3 now.
Oh, can he do it? Can he hold on? Like I said, if he's on the podium anywhere, he'll get my vote for driver of the day. If not, it's going to Ennis, because the man's been on a mission all race. Legend drops down to P7, P8. He's dropping. He's down to P10. I think he's had a bit of a bump. It's thrown him off momentum. He's down to P12. He's at the very bottom of the points. Harry Palmer is going to be looking to get himself back into the points in a second as well. We're going to jump back on board with the front runners. Carl and Ennis have run off.
What's a move there from Farrell?
Good moving. I caught the very, very end of it.
Yeah,
Farrell's up to P4.
Farrell, yeah. Tango is having so much snaps on that car. The rears are just begging to just be put down, but he's only got a couple of laps left if he hold it out. But Farrell is looking to get back on that podium.
Well, Farrell's now back on that podium. He's going to get them on the outside. It's very close as we go 3 wide. Deja vu. Oh God!
Oh God, guys. Well, I think we all caught that on the stream, guys. I don't really know what to say there. I really don't know what to say.
The comment section is alive on the stream. I can't repeat what DC's, but I can't.
Oh my days.
The Aston Martin literally went in the air.
Sorry.
Oh my
God.
God. I'm speechless. I genuinely can't believe what I've just seen.
Oh God!
Do you know what? Yeah, I thought my TV like glitched or something. I genuinely thought like my TV or game glitched because that didn't look possible.
Oh.
And in all of this, Ennis is just chilling. Ennis is just chilling.
Oh God! It's all kicking off in the paddock as well. Do you remember that fight? Imagine the Bottas and Russell incident from Imola a few years ago. But imagine it kicked dialed up to 11. It's going off in the chat, in the paddock.
This boy.
I don't know if any of the admins or head admins is watching, but you might want to head over to the Tier 2 paddock as we speak and get on that straight away, because that is going to escalate quite quickly. It's been a great race. It's been an eventful race. The man
I don't know what to say.
I don't.
But let's not take anything away from Ennis here.
No,
Obviously, that incident has happened, but Ennis he's driven a great race. Fully deserving of that win.
For those that are just tuning in, you've just missed. You've just missed a great moment. You might want to go back and watch a few seconds ago. I don't know if that's
a great moment, to be fair.
Well, you know what I mean? It's not a great moment. It's hard to describe how to actually describe it. But the man was on a mission. He's gone for another perfect weekend. It's the fastest lap.
Fully deserved.
It's pole to a win. Ennis wins. He goes 2 for 2 and wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. Carl comes P2, and I don't know who came P3 there at the very end.
Well done to Ennis. Well done to the podium finish, and well done to the guys that finished the race as well. It's a tough race to finish, especially with the walls being so close, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, that's
No, it's a bit of a sour note, this, isn't it? The way that that crash happened. I mean, it was looking so good there.
It looked so clean, and then just all of a sudden, we just saw a Red Bull and an Aston Martin, and then an Aston Martin fly.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad you caught that on stream, because I was watching it and
I very nearly came off of it. I went down one driver to start to go to find somebody else. And luckily it was the drivers that was involved. And I just saw this car fly in the air. Yeah, so if you wouldn't mind, AFL, if you can invite Ennis, Carl and Hobbsy to the chat just while I go through all of this. Ennis goes for another perfect weekend. Go P1, Carl P2, Hobbsy P3, Nakoni P4, DeWill P5, Jet P6, Strauss P7, Cold Killer Kicker P8, Harry Palmer P9, should have been higher, but oh well. Legend P10, War Daddy P11, T-Griff P12, Cold Paradox P13, and then we've got our DNFers such as Tango, Farrow, Shu, Nolsey, Freefall and 4-star. I thought the 4-star and Freefall incident was the spiciest incident of the night. How wrong was we?
Yeah, that's literally... That was like a little starter. This is like the main course.
Yeah.
That incident there.
I wonder what's for dessert, mate.
Oh, man, I don't know. Who am I inviting? I've got Ennis in.
I've got Ennis. I need Carl and I need... who was it? Who did I say? Who came P3?
Yeah, rewind the stream.
Yeah, rewind the stream, and I want to say maybe was it McConey?
I think Carl was
P2,
yeah, Carl.
and it's P1.
Hobbsy?
Was it Hobbsy?
I'm pretty sure it was Hobbsy. I think it was Hobbsy that was P3.
Okay, we're just gonna win.
There's just so much which has just happened.
Yeah, we are a bit flabbergasted, to be honest. Obviously, yeah, mate. Wow, one end for a race. Yeah. Normally, if that was a tier 4, you know when I do my memes from the CRL tier 4 Grand Prix, that would have been all 10 memes, every single one. Yeah, I honestly don't know. I don't really know what to say.
No, I'll tell you what we do have to say. Hobbsy, congratulations on your P3 win right at the very end there. Talk us through it, mate. No, it's McConey we've invited. Was it? It was Hobbsy.
Wait, who? This what's going on? Who?
We'll talk to McConey anyway. McConey, great battle there, mate. Great race. Talk us through it.
I haven't invited McConey.
Have we got
McConey's not in
McConey?
here?
It popped up saying McConey has joined. What's going on?
Oh, on mine it's Hobbsy.
Is PlayStation having a bit of a...
Guys,
Hang on. Oh, no, Hobbsy is here. My PlayStation sorted itself out now. Hobbsy, great battle, mate. Talk us through it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it wasn't really much of a battle. I knew I weren't catching any, so I was sticking with Carl just to get away from P4, and it was looking good until the last safety car, and then it was chaos.
Did you see what happened?
Yes, so they went in, like they were going turn one side by side. They've sort of gone to the left, I've gone right to try and switch back them, and then the next thing I know, they're in the wall. So
Rumour has it
how
that
they ended up in the wall, but
rumour has it that's where they're putting a second pit lane to. That's the new entrance. Rumour has it. I don't know if it's too early to be cracking jokes about it, but we'll start off early. But it was still a good race nonetheless. Obviously, you made your tyres go quite well. It's a podium again for you, mate. So you must be over the moon with that.
yeah, I said before the race that I probably wouldn't have been able to win, but if I could get a podium or at least push for a podium, I'd be happy. So there we go.
Nah, fair play, mate. Fair play. Next week we head over to France. Done much practice for France on this game, or obviously 'cause it's not on the calendar, so.
Yeah, I don't think I've touched France yet. Maybe once, but yeah. See how we go.
Well, exactly. Best we can hope for, mate. You had a great race. AFL, is there anything to add? I know we're both a bit speechless at the minute, getting over what we just witnessed. But
just congrats on the podium, mate, and hopefully you can get on that top step soon.
Yeah, hopefully one of many podiums.
Hopefully so, mate. Hopefully so. We'll head over to P2. Carl, mate, first time me interviewing, I believe, you in CRL. You had amazing pace throughout that race, and we got a couple of good overtakes from yourself on stream as well. Just a bit short of not being able to take that top spot, but talk us through it, mate. Yeah, the man was really on a mission, obviously, in that first stint on those early game softs. Obviously, the late game safety car changed out. He was able to get a fresh set of softs on. You kept up with him as best as you could, mate. But P2, can't go wrong with that. But next week we head over to France. How are you feeling for France? Is it a good track of yours? Bad track? What do we think? Me. Yeah, hopefully you can replicate it, mate. Hopefully you can. AFL, anything for our runner-up this evening?
No, great pace, mate. You done some great overtakes there. It was really entertaining to watch you quietly make your way past some of the guys and that. So yeah, congrats on the P2. Hopefully we'll be interviewing you soon.
No worries, buddy. Now we head over. He went P1 in Saudi Arabia with the fastest lap and scored a perfect weekend. He's done it again. 2 weeks on the trot. It's Ennis.
Hello.
Mate, you must be on cloud 9 at the moment. You made that race look easy.
I can tell you it wasn't. It's not as easy as it looked.
Well, from where we were sitting, mate, when you made those softs last on that first stint, and then came in, and then just weaved your way back up to the top, then your late safety car just into the distance again, to us it looked easy.
Yeah, well, I to be honest, I'm not sure how I made the softs last as long as I did. Maybe the early safety car helped a bit, but tyre management, whatever.
Yeah.
It helped, but pitting into the traffic was absolute hell because I didn't want to touch anyone. It looked, well, to you guys, it looked easy, but I'm telling you, it wasn't. Winning the race is never ever easy. I mean,
I wouldn't know.
There's some quick people out there, just like Carl and Hobbsy especially as well. But you know, I'm made the tie as well. I'm surprised to see Duo and Farrell didn't pit. I think they were waiting for another safety car late on. I mean, I overtook them. But man, I think that's probably one of the best races I've ever done. I just pushed to the limit. Well, yeah.
That late safety car, you have won again, mate. You've gone 2 for 2, so it's either going to be, are we looking at, maybe it's a bit early to say this, but are we looking at this season's champion, or are we potentially looking at maybe an early promotion for Tier 1?
No.
No, he wants to stay in Tier 2.
I mean, it's my 2 best tracks. I keep telling everyone that, but obviously it doesn't help my case right now because
no, you've gone 2 for 2, perfect.
But I mean, it's a 12 race season. It's it's a whole different thing to win a championship, to winning a race or two here and there, you know. But
100%.
We'll see how it goes. I mean, Carl is really quick. There's other really, really quick people. My teammate had a quali bang. He's really quick as well. We just have to see what the future holds, but it's still early, you know.
Yeah, unfortunately, your teammate had retired late session. I believe he was involved there was an incident between both the McLarens, an Alfa Romeo and your teammate, and ultimately all 4 drivers picked up damage. It was the Alfa Romeo that got taken out of the race to cause the safety car, and your teammate retired in the pits. He didn't continue.
Yeah, I actually saw him spin on the safety car, and he said that himself. So it's not an ideal weekend for the Williams team in Tier 2, but I mean, Haas gained a lot of points.
But once again, it's maximum points for yourself as well. So you're walking away with 31 points. You weren't involved in anything, so you're pretty much guaranteed the win 100%. So it's still 31 points in the Constructors for Williams when you're battling for the lead. Obviously, Ferrari had a 1-2 down in Tier 4, so your win's going to keep Williams up there. That's the main thing to look at it for. But next week, we head over to Paul Ricard as we head over to France. You said you've had your best 2 tracks. Does France fall into that category, or does France fall into the category?
Well, to be honest with you, I haven't touched on this game.
Right.
The last time I remember doing France was to sign up for Cone last season, or 2 seasons ago. I'll tell you honestly, that's the last time I touched the track. But
right.
I don't dislike it.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Who knows? This time next week, I could be sat here with AFL and Mickey So, and he's gone 3 for 3 for perfect weekends. Are you going to keep this? Are you going to keep this winning streak up?
No, I have to say, especially as well, it may not mean a lot in the virtual world, but beating Duo on its home soil it's not going to be easy. I can tell you that now. Yeah.
No, but you had a great race, mate. 2 for 2. Keep that head up high. You're gonna. It's got to put you in cloud 9, and it puts you in a very comfortable position over your championship rivals at the moment. 2 wins early on, with both the fastest laps. It's maximum points, mate. Maximum points. So it's looking favourable.
Thank you.
AFL, have you got anything that you want to add to your teammate before we round things off this evening?
Well done, mate, for saving my blushes by getting the points this week. I promise I will try and get some points sooner rather than later.
That's okay.
But no, well done, mate, well done.
For those that need the translation there for AFL, I'm sorry, I'm a big bottle job. Is what he was saying there. Now, we are going to round things off before AFL can kill me for saying that, but you'll catch everyone here, same time again next week. Like I said, when we head over to the Paul Ricard circuit, it's going to be interesting. If it's anything like this week's race, we've got a lot more entertainment on the way as we head over to Chapter 3. I've been your host, CRL Spider. My co-host has been the one and only AFL. You'll see us here this time next week as we go over to France.
I'm no ball.